Hey there, welcome to LSAT Demon Daily. I'm Nathan Fox, one of the co-founders of LSATdemon.com and our weekly podcast, Thinking LSAT. Today, I have Demon teacher Josh with me. Josh, we've got an email here from Ovidia. The subject is reviewing reading comprehension.
I really like the strategy you guys employ in terms of not focusing on finishing each question, right? Finishing each section, but rather focusing on getting each question correct. I feel like my score is stagnant, and as much as this method has helped me on the LR sections, I feel like I'm making negative progress on the RC section. I find it very easy to understand what I got wrong on the LR section and learn from my mistakes. However, for the RC section, I often feel like I'm wasting my time reviewing. I struggle to identify whether it was a problem with my understanding of the passage, misunderstanding the question, or the answer choices as a whole. Would love if you can give some input on how to review the RC section and any other tips for improvement. Thanks so much.
I would almost guarantee that you're doing all three of those things. I think that you are not reading the passage well enough in the first place. They're testing your reading comprehension. You're just not comprehending enough of the passage. You're kind of glossing it. That's what most novices do. I am sure that you're misunderstanding the questions that they're asking you. They're really on reading comp, other than one strengthen or weaken question here or there, one or maybe two per section, but like 25 or 26 of the questions are really just asking you what must be true based on what it said in the passage. And I am sure, you're not really comprehending what the passage said. And then you might not even be understanding. You think they're asking you for your opinion. You think they're asking you to speculate. You think they're asking you to infer, but you don't really know that that just means which one must be true. You think that they're asking you. I mean, they do literally say, which one would the author agree with? And you think that means, oh, I'm supposed to get inside the author's head. No, you're supposed to answer that question based on what it said on the page. So I'm sure another way that you can misunderstand the question is that they can ask you for the perspective of advocates of a certain plan, that was described in the passage.
Who were referred to as critics.
You think that they're asking you for the author's opinion, but they actually were asking you about the advocate's opinion or the critic's opinion. They're certainly not asking you for your opinion ever. Lots of ways that you can misunderstand the question that they're asking you. But, so again, it's a reading comprehension exercise, right? You have to comprehend the passage. You also have to comprehend the question that they're asking you about the passage. They're mostly asking you, what did it say in the passage? But sometimes they're asking you for what one party in the passage would say about a particular topic. Last thing, Ovidia suggests maybe I'm misunderstanding the answer choices as a whole, and I'm sure that that is sometimes the case. You're misunderstanding the wrong answer that you're picking. You're misunderstanding the right answer that you're not picking. Frequently, you're misunderstanding all of those things. You don't understand the passage. You don't understand what they're asking you about the passage. You don't understand the wrong answer that you're picking, and you don't understand the right answer that you didn't pick, because you're just failing to comprehend what you're reading with a high enough lawyer style standard.
80% of the work, maybe more, of RC should be done in reading the passage. 80% of your time should be spent reading the passages. And when I have students who say, well, I just misunderstood this, or I didn't catch that when I was reading, then my only advice is, well, then you are not doing the work in the reading to engage properly with these questions. Yeah. And you need to read more. And that might be the only lesson that you can derive from some of these questions. If you say, well, I just missed that, then that is a review that your reading method, your reading attention to detail, like those things are deficient, and you need to read better. And maybe that means you need to take longer. I know, novices, and I don't know where necessarily you're at in your journey, but sometimes novices will try and do like, I did this. I skim the passage and then, so
Oh
they have
yeah.
extra time on the answer choices, right? Because
There's
then they can go
bad
back.
LSAT prep out there that tells you that's how you're supposed to do it. So
Horrible.
I don't blame students who follow that path if someone else told. I mean,
Yeah.
if either you thought that that's how you were supposed to do it, or someone told you that that's how you're supposed to do it. But we're here to tell you something very different.
Flip that. Spend so much more time in the passage, and then you might say, okay, well, I misunderstood whose perspective they were asking me. Okay, you need to be paying a little bit closer attention to when it says critics, keeping those
Hmm.
opinions straight. I misunderstood this answer choice. Okay, you need to spend time really making sure you understand an answer
Hmm.
before you pick it. Those are things that you can do, but they come after. Did you read and understand the passage? That is
Yeah.
first and foremost, and you have to quit making those mistakes first.
Yeah. You do have to comprehend the passage. You then have to comprehend the question that they're asking you about the passage. You then have to comprehend the correct answer and see how it actually answers the question that they're asking you based on the record that they gave you. It's called reading comprehension. It's the farthest possible thing from a trick.
Mm-hmm.
They're telling you up front what they want. They want you to comprehend what you're reading. And if you're struggling with reading comprehension, I'll just guarantee you're not quite comprehending what you're reading. So the solution is do fewer passages, but get more of them right. Spend more time reading the passage so that the questions make sense. If the questions don't make sense, it's because you're just not comprehending something.
Yep. That's reading comp 101.
Email daily at lsatdemon.com if you would like to ask us a question or share some LSAT or law school admissions news. Thanks for listening.